Hi, it's Dina again. I'm back with another Cricut tutorial, and this time we're going to go to the basics. We're going to talk about a little bit of the basics, and we're going to start off with just what happens when you first log into Design Space and the different things that we have going on our home page. So when you first log in, this is the screen you're kind of looking at. There's usually a banner up here with whether it's some sort of an ad or a new product, something that they have, a new tool, and it scrolls through and changes as it every so many seconds. And then we also have the home button here, and so if we click on these three lines here, which somebody referred to as a hamburger, so it's a bun with a burger in the middle, I guess. You see this drop down menu, so you can see it'll be your profile if you've set one up, and home, canvas, and then all these different things. New machine setup. If you have a brand new machine, you'd go here and it'll walk you through step by step. Calibration, if you're going to do a print and cut, or if you have a maker and you're going to do a knife blade cut, it is best if you calibrate first. And if you were to click on it, then you can see I'm connected to my Explorer right now. So the only option I have is to calibrate for print and cut, and you just would go through and it'll take you step by step on what you need to do to calibrate the machine for a print and cut. And then if we go back to that drop down, there's everything, your account details, if you have a subscription to Access or things like that. Link cartridges, if you happen to have some of the old Cricut cartridges from before they went to the Explorer series of machines and they have never been linked to anybody's account before, like I owned the old machine, so I had a lot of cartridges. So I was able to go in and link my cartridges, and on the Explorer machines, there's a slot just below the little place where you can set your tools on the left-hand side. It has a little, if you push on it, the little door kind of opens and you would slide your cartridge in right there and you can link it. And again, when you click on this, it'll just take you step by step, everything that you need to do to be able to link those cartridges. And then of course, Cricut Access, again, we'll talk about your subscription and then if there are new features, like if it's been a while since you've signed in and it goes through and it updates the Design Space, you can see any new features. If you want to see, usually they have like a walkthrough where they'll do a little quick tutorial to show you what those new features are, and you can find those under there. And then of course, if you wanted to sign out of your account, it would be there. And then this, I actually kind of just learned about this, but this is a feedback button. So if you ever come across an issue, whether it's with cutting or with a setting being all of a sudden, like it used to work great and all of a sudden now it's cutting too deep, or anything else that you come across that is you're having issues with Design Space, you can actually go right here and give feedback. And this is their preferred way of, instead of people just going on Facebook and complaining about their issues, and that it's always good to go here and actually put what your issue is, and that way they have a team of people that are looking at this, and they'll go in and check things out and see why that might be happening in Design Space, and hopefully make fixes to prevent it from happening again. So that is what you'll find under the three lines or the hamburger. And of course, if we want to if we click off of that, we'll go back to this page. So here you've got your banner up here, welcome. Any projects that you've done, you can access them there. You can choose your machine here, whether it's the Maker or the Explorer. And then if you wanted to start a new project, you can click this button here, or you can also click this this new project button right down here. So so the first line that you'll come across is My Projects, and so the most recent projects that you have will be, right here. There's an arrow where you can go, from side to side and go through and just see the different projects, or you can actually go to this View All button, and it will show you, it'll take you this way, so where you can scroll through any project that you have saved um, in your design space. So um, so that's what the first, and if you are just now starting with Cricut, you won't have anything here, but as you start saving projects, they'll start popping up here. And then the next one, these are Cricut Access projects that you can do. And most of them are set up. If you were to, click on it, it would give you the option of customizing or going straight to make it. If you hit customize, it's going to bring you to your canvas with all the pieces laid out. And that way, if you ever wanted to change anything on it, you would do it there. Or if you like it just as it is, you can just click the make it button and it takes you right to your mats and you're ready to start loading paper and cutting. So there's a lot of different projects. A lot of them will try to incorporate, some of the new tools that they have, like this one here. This gender reveal card there's a perforation blade that the maker uses, and so it's making like a little peel back kind of reveal for you to be able to do a card like that. This one here with the flowers is using the wavy blade that just came out for the maker. But there's a whole bunch of different projects in there that you can go through and check out. And then the next one would be ready to make projects, which is very similar actually to the Cricut Access because they're all ready to make as well. But if you sew and you have a maker, these are some great projects in here. Unfortunately, I cannot sew, and I'm just envious of everyone who can, and maybe someday I will learn how to, but I cannot sew to save my life. So I just look and drool and then move on. Here you will find some top video tutorials that Cricut has made. So they're all kind of, when you click on them, they just start playing a video, and it'll go through a series of them, and a lot of them are very similar to what I'm doing here. So if you want to call this Design Space Fundamentals, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Learn how to attach. There's, let's work with images, uploading images, getting to know the knife blade. There's a whole category of videos that you can watch in there as helps. Some of them don't go into like every detail from beginning to end of a project, but they give you an overall idea of why you would need to attach something and how you would do it, or whatever it might be. And then this is kind of new, they've broken a lot of their projects down by what they are. So the infusible ink, there's a whole bunch of infusible ink projects. Any new materials that they come out with, which this is the mosaic vinyl, which is actually like really cool. I saw some some projects done with these that were just really amazing. It almost makes it look like rhinestones, and so it's kind of a cool material, and I might have to try some of that. And the new maker tools, like I said, these are all projects that involve the new maker tools. So if you have a maker, you can go through and check those out. And breaks it down into cards, iron-on for all occasions, and there's just tons and tons of projects in here. And then we come down here to this from the community, and this is where they really changed it. You can actually, anything that you design yourself, any project, you can save it as your own, and then you can share it publicly. And as long as it doesn't have any images that you've loaded up yourself, like if everything comes from Cricut, then people can open it up in their design space and they can actually make it too. So there's a bunch in here. These are now called, so they do a project of the day, and they've started breaking them down into, here is everything done with basswood, which would be for the maker. Sympathy cards, back to school. So they have all these different categories, which are really cool. And there's a lot of really neat, I don't know, they had a paper crafts one in there before, but there's just some really, really neat stuff in there. And so then the other thing that I want to show you about all of these projects that Cricut has in here is, let's just say you wanted to, I'm trying to, let me go up to where I can find like one of the cards, for example, or actually I will go to the iron-on, for example. So you wanted to make just a regular, you know, iron-on shirt. And so you go ahead and you click on this one here. And what it will do is, like I said, you can customize it and that will bring you to your canvas, or you can just go make it and you go straight to your mats and your loading vinyl. So this will tell you this is an easy project. It's should take you less than 30 minutes. There's a description of the project, tells you what the finished cut size is, and then it tells you what materials you're going to be using. So this uses everyday iron-on in the white and also in the mint. And then anything else that you would use, your mat, if you have an easy press or an iron, and a pressing cloth, a weeding tool, and of course a sweatshirt. And then it gives you preparation and instructions. This can all be printed out. And then this is what I think is great about these. Even if you aren't going to make this specific project, you can click on a project that has to do with iron-on. And if you go down here under more help, there is an everyday iron-on application help article, or there's a video. And if you click on these links, it takes you, right to a
Cricut
YouTube video.
Iron-On is a decorative heat transfer film you can use to
It's kind of
personalize
cool,
accessories, home decor, and
because
more. There are two types of Cricut Iron-On.
It gives you an explanation of the iron-on if you're unsure of it. And those come straight from, those are Cricut video tutorials. And then there's, an interactive quick reference guide for the Easy Press if you have that. And so then you can go into this thing, you choose which Easy Press you have and what material, and then it's going to give you, the numbers that you would need to be able to press that on. And like you can say, I'm putting holographic vinyl on a cotton poly blend shirt, and you're using, whether it's the Cricut Easy Press mat or a towel, and you hit apply, and it's going to tell you 330 degrees for 30 seconds, and then just the different things that you'll need. So these are very cool links that you can use that Cricut has provided in their descriptions of these kind of ready to make projects. There's also, usually they have to have more than one picture, so they'll give you a couple of options and then maybe what it might look like on your canvas. So that is kind of the overall gist of what this homepage looks like and what it does for you. A lot of information on here, and you could sit and just look at project after project, and hopefully you'll find something in there that inspires you and something you want to try. And even if you modify it, it's a great place to start for information on how to do things. And then again, you have this My Projects button, and anything that you have already made, it will take you to all of your projects only. So I hope this helps you out, and you can see how much that this software actually does have to offer, even just in these little homepage, projects that you can look at and make, and links to videos to help you out, and articles that you can read or settings that you might need. I think it's a great way to get started and just kind of looking through some of those things. So I hope that you learned something from this. I hope you have a great day, and we will see you next time. Thanks.